Hey guys, so a great question here. I recently had a friendly debate with a young man at church who argued that supporting more government programs for the poor is the Christian thing to do. I tried to explain that there's a difference between charity that flows freely from the heart and redistribution that happens through government systems and compulsion. Your Robin Hood short came to mind. I really liked it. How would you respond to someone who sees government-led aid as a necessary expression of Christian compassion? Man, this could be a 4-hour long answer right here. But hey guys, if you've been blessed by any of these episodes, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you know someone right now, 5 people, 10 people, 50 people right now who'd be blessed by this as well, share. Share to everybody. Thanks for listening. I do want to say there are 2 sides of this coin. Let me give you an example of why I say that. If we look back to, for instance, the Emancipation Proclamation and or the civil rights laws that were signed into effect in 1965 and so forth, was it just Christians and ending slavery along with Wilberforce over in England and ending slavery? Yes, that was the first thing that had to happen. But to enforce it, there had to be the Emancipation Proclamation and there had to be the Civil Rights Act, right? So it was a little bit of both. So that it doesn't mean that in every case it needs to be both. In fact, I've talked about this, I think, in previous episodes about if the church would step up, the government wouldn't even be part of the equation. The government would do whatever the government does, which is this minimal thing over here, and the Christians would have stood up, been totally others focused, and provided for whatever the needs were. So in this case, I would acknowledge to this young man from church saying, you know what? In the past, that's been the case when people have been stubborn. These are people, stubborn people, acting in un-Christ-like ways. Hence, the government did in fact need to get involved. Now, I might also make the argument now that some government programs have to be in place to an extent because we're not doing what we should do. But for us to say that the way that it has to be done is to make the government be our governor to say, give. It's not a way of God. And at the same time, Jesus will say, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. So to advocate for more government programs, more so than advocating for more churches stepping up and individuals giving more and doing more, I think that's the fissure that we need to discuss. We, as the church, the reason I have a podcast called Joyfulgiving, the reason I have a charity called How Giving is because I see an amazing opportunity for us to be a bright light that shines. Because we are from our hearts giving. We're not being compelled to give, we are cheerfully giving. That is the way. The unfortunate thing is we live in a world where we're not fully stepping up. And something has to fill the void. I don't know if that answered the question or not, but I do say that first, we do what we are called to do. And if government programs have to be established because there isn't enough provision, then so be it. Hope that helps.